Hello there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm glad to have you. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. Thank you so much. If you're single, come closer. Yes, today's for you. If you're single, about to be married, in a relationship, dating relationship, right? Or if you're even married, this book is for you. Trust me, this book is for you, right? You need to come and learn the wisdom that I learned from this book. Definitely you're going to learn a lot, right? So today we are reviewing things I wish I did know before we got married. Things I wish I did know before I got married by Gary Chapman. Yeah, this book is not a book on how to plan a wedding. This is a book on how to have a successful marriage, right? Author Gary Chapman highlighted the importance of understanding and addressing common issues that arises within marriages, right? And the need for couples to have a realistic expectation and a foundation of love and respect to build a successful and fulfilling marriage. Trust me, you need to read this book. So now let's dive right in to the review of this book. Chapter 1, things I wish I know before we got married. Chapter 1 says that being in love is not adequate foundation for building a successful marriage. That being in love is not adequate foundation for building a successful marriage. Gary Chapman explained that while love is essential in marriage, it is not sufficient to sustain a long-lasting relationship. Love is needed. Love is a feeling, right? But that is not what will guarantee a lasting relationship. He also went as far as discussing the importance of compatibility, communication, understanding each other's needs beyond the initial in-love feeling, basically, right? So the question that I ask myself from this chapter is that to what degree have you explored the important issues like compatibility, right? Are you compatible intellectually with your partner? Are you compatible emotionally, right? Do you have the same social interests? Do you have the same spiritual unity? Do you have the same common values? Please ask yourself these questions. Being in love is not the absolute foundation or adequate foundation for building a successful marriage. You have to be intellectually, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and in values, be agreeable. Trust me, be agreeable. Chapter 2, that romantic love has two stages. This was, bust my head. Romantic love has two stages. From this chapter, I learned basically that what makes one person feel love does not necessarily make the other person feel love. That's just the truth, right? We all have different languages. We all speak different languages, right? And when it comes to couples, right, in love is high emotions, right? Down from that high in love emotional high, right? Like they are on drugs. Sometimes they miss the other efforts that their partner is using to express love, and that can cause recall in marriages, right? Sometimes people, the lady can say like, "Oh, I feel you don't love me anymore." I'm like, I don't understand, right? I work hard, I keep the car clean, I service you on bed. I'm like, do different things basically, right? To take care of the children, take them to school in the morning, and you're like, you don't love me. What else do I need to show you that I love you, right? So basically, there are two stages to love. From one is that there is the emotional love and there is the intentional love, right? Emotional love, I know you're aware about it, the feeling, the love, and everything. That's good, fantastic. That's just the first stage. The second stage, which I'm going to emphasize upon, is that there is the intentional love. For intentional love, you have to apply the 5 love languages, which is number 1 is word of affirmation, giving of gifts, act of service, quality time, and physical touch. Those are the 5 5. Those are the 5 love languages, basically, right? If you want to know more about them, what they do, how they are being expressed, go and pick up the 5 love languages book by Gary Chapman, still the same author, trust me, right? Basically, this chapter emphasizes the importance of both partners investing their time, their energy, their effort into the relationship, right? Both of them has to invest it, not just one person. So also, Gary Chapman also explained the significance of selfishness and putting the needs and interests of your partner above your personal desires, right? I hope you learned something from this chapter. Chapter 3, that I wish I had known that the saying, like mother, like daughter, and like father, like son, is not a might. So when you hear that statement, like mother, like daughter, right? As the title of this chapter, we're like, oh, the guy I want to marry is going to look like a mother. No, 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 no. That's not what he's saying. This chapter is not saying that. He's not suggesting that the girl you will marry or the husband you will marry is not exactly like a mother or like a man or like a father, right? But he's saying that they are both greatly influenced by their parents. And that's just the truth. You are who you are today by the influences you have from the people that brought you up, your parents, your family, or your environment, basically. So what can we do not to repeat that mistake? Well, the most important thing is that you do not want to repeat your parents' mistake, or you don't want your partner to repeat their parents' mistake, basically. Is number one, like make a list. Guy Chapman emphasizes that you should make a list, right? List out all of the things that you like about your father or your mother, right? And list out all the things that you consider as negative traits in your father or your mother. Present it to the guy you're dating or to the guy you're dating, right? Both of you talk about it. I'm like, okay, I noticed this also in your father. You didn't include this. Like, number two is that use this list that you've highlighted, right? Basically, use it as a discussion and look at for ways that you would like to be different from your father or from your mother, right? The third thing is suggested is that what specific steps will you take to begin to make changes, right? You do not want to marry broken people rather, right? People who have not healed from traumas and the likes, right? People who have a different worldview from what you are experienced or what they are always known, right? So it's important that you make all of this list that, oh, I saw this in your father, you need to correct that. Oh, your father snores while he sleeps. You need to correct that. Watch yourself while you sleep. Do different things, right? Your father gets angry every time about little things, right? You need to watch yourself. Okay, I do not need to get angry. I need to understand this person's point of view before I got angry. You understand? Or get angry. Whatever English is correct, basically. Right? And then you work on these things, definitely. Chapter 4. I wish I had known before we got married how to solve disagreements without arguing. Trust me, this is one of the most important chapters you want to have because you want to have peace in your home. You want to have peace in your marriage. Trust me, right? Gay Chapman mentioned how that he and his wife, when they were dating, they didn't have any issue, right? They didn't fight anything, but immediately they got married, issues started popping up and it led to conflict, right? And over the years, because he's a counselor, right, he has been able to gotten the knack on how to resolve conflict. So he said that instead of telling your partner that, oh, we need to talk at a convenient time, like you should request for a time that your partner will listen, right? So just basically tell your partner, I need a listening time from you, well, where you just basically listen to me and oh my god, without arguing, without like throwing tractions, without putting in your own words, right? Yeah, said that when you request for that, like that has actually helped a lot of couples resolve their conflicts, right? What does requesting time do for you, right? A time for listening creates a much different atmosphere, an atmosphere that does not um, involve strives and the likes, right? So disagreements, opinions flying here and there. It just makes you be able to express yourself, create that atmosphere for you to be able to express yourself in a very clear, concise, and truthful manner, basically. The truth of the matter is that in marriage, it is never having my way. It is rather discovering our own way. So there are three methods that Gary Chapman shared in resolving conflicts, right? Number one is that you resolve conflict by meeting in the middle, right? You resolve conflict by meeting on your side or your partner's side, or you resolve conflict by meeting later. For example, when the idea of coming, like say, okay, who are we visiting? Whose parents are we visiting this Christmas for this Christmas holiday, right? We can agree that okay, we are meeting at your parents' house, right, for this holiday, and next year we're meeting at my own parents' house for the holiday, right? Or we can say, how are we sharing bills? Oh, I don't know how we're sharing bills, or who is paying for this bill? Oh, I don't know who is paying for this bill. We don't have money now. Can we pay for it later? You understand? That is meeting it later. Meeting in the middle, like, okay, I want to travel to Zanzibar for my work break. Okay, we don't have enough expenses to travel to Zanzibar for the work break. Can we go to Ghana right? That is meeting in the middle. None of you, you are going to Zanzibar, but now we are changing location to Ghana. Me, I want to go to Sokoto, but I'm still going to Ghana with you. We're meeting at what? At the middle. Chapter 5. I wish I had known before we got married that apologizing is a sign of strength. Apologizing is a sign of strength. So Gary Chapman explained the 5 apology language. This is brand new to me too. I was like, oh wow. So there are 5 apology languages. Just saying we have 5 love languages. There are also 5 apology languages. So the reason why we have apology languages is because you want to, for some people, right? Different people, different uh, strokes for different flukes, right? Like they said, basically, right? Some people just saying I'm sorry, they're fine with that. Some people want you to go to the extra mile, like you truly need to change, not just say I'm sorry. Don't tell me I'm sorry. Like do the things I'm complaining about. Oh, I'm sorry I did not wash the car. First of all, wash the car first before I'm saying like that's why we have like different apologies languages. So let's dive right into the 5 apology languages. Number 1, expressing regret. I'm sorry may well be the first words in expressing this apology language, right? However, you need to tell why you are sorry, right? The words I'm sorry like can be spoken alone, right? They are just, and when spoken alone, just basically like it's general. For example, you may say, "Oh, I'm sorry that I came home an hour late. I know you've been waiting for me, so we could go on a movie to see the movie that we promised like each other to see. I realized that we had already missed the first 30 minutes, and you probably don't want to go now. I feel bad that I did not pay more attention to time. I basically got busy at work in the office. I can't blame anyone but myself. I would like that I feel like I've let you down. I'm sorry for that." Right? That brings like that is perfect. Like brings your nerves to a calm state. Trust me. Trust me. The second is the second of the 5 apology language is accepting responsibility, right? This apology begins with the word "I was wrong" and then goes on to explain what was wrong about your behavior. For example, you say like, "Oh, I was wrong not to plan my afternoon so I could get home early. I knew you were going out tonight. I know we were going out tonight, but I didn't consciously think about what time was, right? And I needed to get home in order for us to leave on time. It was my fault. I was wrong. I can take the blame. I can't blame anyone else for it. Let me just take the blame, basically." Right? You accept your responsibility. Number 3 is making restitution. Making restitution, right? This apology language seeks to make it right. Instead of just saying I'm sorry, or instead of just taking the blame, but these people want to make it right. And if your wife is like this, please speak our apology language. Trust me, right? For example, maybe the husband forgot their wedding anniversary, and they were like say, "Oh, I know that I've really blown it away. I can't believe I actually forgot our wedding anniversary." What kind of husband does that? I know that I cannot undo what has been done, right? But I would like to ask for another opportunity to make it up to you. Can we go, instead of going to the seminar we've planned for, can we go on a dating trip? You understand? Let's go on a dating trip to Burkina Faso. Right? Burkina Faso sounds amazing. Right? And I like that, right? You make restitution instantly. Suggest another alternative instantly. The 4th apology language is genuinely expressing the desire to change your behavior. Basically, this apology language seeks to come up with a plan to keep the bad behavior from occurring. You understand? A man lost his temper again. We're like, "Oh, I don't like this about me. I know that this is not good. I did the same thing last week, and it just has got to stop right now." You understand? Can you help me think about ways to make me stop getting angry? You understand? That's like expressing your desire to change. Your wife knows that yes, this guy truly wants to change, and I need to help him to change. We need to work on his change together. Trust me. The 5th apology language, requesting for forgiveness. Right? It's not okay to say I'm sorry, especially if your wife is used to I'm sorry already. Right? It's not okay just to say I'm sorry. Right? To request for forgiveness. Will you please forgive me? Works magic rather than saying I am sorry. I'm sorry might not work the magic for your partner, but will you please forgive me? Will work wonders. Find your partner's apology language and speak it. Trust me. These words are not just music to the ear of the persons whose primary love language is requesting for forgiveness. In their mind, you are sincere, right? And you really want that forgiveness from them. You understand? You have hurt them, and then you want them to know that, oh, please, do you want to be forgiven? Like for them, right? Requesting for forgiveness touches their heart and rings of sincerity. Trust me. So please find your partner's apology language and speak it to them. Speak it to them. Trust me. Chapter 6. I wish I had known that forgiveness is not a feeling. For all of you, I'll be saying, oh, forgive and forget, forgive and forget. Forgiveness is not a feeling, right? The only healthy response to an apology is forgiveness. But what does it mean to actually forgive? Forgiveness does not destroy our memory. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It's a conscious decision, right? It's not a feeling. It's not an emotion. It's a conscious decision, right? And one factor that can prove that forgiveness is not a feeling is that we actually do not forget what hurt us, right? It is a decision to offer, forgiveness is a decision to offer grace instead of demanding justice. Forgiveness removes the barriers and opens the possibility for the relationship to grow. So when you forgive, you are removing the barriers that is hindering your relationship. Emphasized in this chapter is that forgiveness does not remove the consequences or all of the consequences of that wrongdoing. For example, a mother saves money for her last child's medical bill surgery, and then the elder child went to go and steal the money and use it on lottery, right? On jackpot lottery. And then the money got squandered and the likes, right? And then the last born child could not do that surgery. The consequences of not doing that surgery at that time is still there. But can the mother forgive that child? Absolutely yes, right? Does it make that forgiveness ingenuine? No, it makes it genuine, but the consequences will still be there, right? So always find ways, forgive, right? And if you feel like, oh, I still feel hurt by seeing this person, that does not mean you've not forgiven that person, or that does not mean that person has not forgiven you. It just means that the consequences are something you have to deal with. Chapter 7. I wish I had known that toilets are not self-cleaning, right? Let me ask you a personal question. If and when you get married, who do you think will clean the toilets in your house? Tough question, right? I know some of you are already thinking, now my wife go clean toilets now as the guy. It's the woman that should be cleaning toilets. And the lady are thinking like, oh, we are in 2023. I cannot clean toilets. It becomes a problem. You understand? So confusion over roles is one of the most stressful aspects of this day marriage, this modern marriages. It's the most stressful part. So Gary Chapman said that the best thing to do is that you make a list of all the activities that you are expecting to be done, right? Ask your partner, list them out. Don't hide anything. Don't be doing shawarma dates and just eat shawarma and forget your sense. No, right? List out, okay, cooking, washing plates, washing toilets, washing clothes, washing car. List them out, right? And then the Chapman said that two of you sit down together and analyze, okay, washing plates. It's both of us that are washing plates, right? But then there needs to be somebody that is primary contributor to that chores. You understand? You write, okay, Tade and Shola. You understand? Tade is the primary person, the major person that needs to be washing plates. You write that, okay, washing car, is Shola my husband. You write it down there, and both of you agree on it, and then trust me, because of doing this, you're gonna have amazing marriages. You will not have issues like, oh, you did not clean plate today, you did not wash the car today, because you both agreed on all of this. Toilets are not self-cleaning, they are being done by someone. I wish I had known that we need a plan for handling our money. Right? What is your present financial plan? Like, how do you use your money? You need to write and be detailed as possible, right? Ask your dating partner to do the same, right? Do you give away 10% of your income as tithe if you're a Christian, right? Do you give to your parents? You understand? Do you place at least 10% of your income into savings or investment? Do you have a savings at all? Do you have an investment at all? What are your investment plan? You understand, right? You and your partner should together like work out a payment schedule for any debt. You understand? You have debt, like work out a payment schedule for your debt before you get married, right? Work out a financial plan for spending your money after you are married. This will require information like housing, utility costs. Work out all of those plans. Discuss and seek agreement, right? Instead of you like saying that, oh, my husband money is our money. I don't want to break tables, really. You understand, right? Who keeps the book? Question like, who keeps the book and why this person? Oh, my wife keeps our financial record book, and why? You understand? Trash out all of these questions, because this chapter addresses the signals of financial management in your marriage, right? They generally discuss the importance of budgeting, financial transparency, aligning your finances to your financial goals, right? So that you would avoid conflicts. Money has been rated to be the like third thing that destroy marriages. Money, apart from sex, money comes third. Really, I've forgotten what comes second. Really, right? So you want to be able to build a marriage that is free from conflict and is both secured, right? So talk about who handles your money. What plans do you use in handling your money? Chapter 9. I wish I had known that sexual fulfillment is not automatic, right? It's not automatic. First, Gejama said that the first thing that I wish he had known is that why men focus on intercourse, women focus on relationship. You understand? If the relationship has been fractured by harsh word, irresponsible behavior earlier in the day, the female, right, the women will find it very hard to be interested in sex at night. Right? That was the first shocker that Gary Chapman. He also shared the research that he carried out with couples, and he discovered that sexual intercourse before marriage have a higher divorce rate than those who do not. That those who had sex before marriage, they have higher divorce rate. So please keep yourself, right? Keep the bed undefiled, like the Bible would say, right? Right? Or like the Quran would say. You understand? Right? The question is, to what degree have you shared your sexual history with the person you are dating, right? You must create room for openness, room for trust, and right, let the other person knows what is going on, what they should expect and not. Chapter 10. I wish I had known before we got married that I was marrying into a family. Those of you that says that, oh, my husband is my husband, nothing concerned with your husband family, right? Please, you're married into a family, take it or leave it. You don't have an option to leave it, right? Take it and take it. Really. If you think that after the wedding, it will just be the two of you, you are thinking wrong. Your thinking is wrong. You understand? You are married into a family, either for better or for worse, right? A family does not disappear the day after the wedding, right? His family also does not disappear the day after the wedding, right? Both of your parents may allow you to have a few days after the honeymoon, right? But they would expect to be part of your life. That's just the truth. Not just in Africa, but every part of the world. So what are the three keys to have a good relationship with your in-laws? Number one is that learning to listen, with your in-laws, right? Learning to negotiate. This is important because negotiations enhances that you make a request and not a demand, right? Learning their love languages. Know your partner's in-laws love language. What's the mother's in-law language? What's the father's in-law language, right? And just don't just know them, but speak their love languages. Chapter 11. I wish I had known that spirituality is not to be equated with going to church. Spirituality is not equated to be going to mosques. You understand? Gary Chapman shared a story of a guy called Jill, a lady called Jill, and a guy called Matt, right? One day Jill called him and like, oh, I want to report Matt to you, right? I feel it's not like he said he feels like he gets closer to God at the golf club rather than in church. You understand? Like when he were dating, he was always going to church, but now he doesn't want to go to church any longer. On Sunday, he wants to go to the golf club because he feels closer to God then. And that's really frustrated her, you know. So a lot of couples, a lot of partners, a lot of people are dating, they don't get to discuss this religious belief at all, right? They don't like, oh, I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian, we love each other, you're beautiful, I love you, right? We have the same career path, but then let's get married. And then later when they got married, they're like, oh, I want to go to church. No, you're not going to church. You must go to mosque. And like, oh, really? We didn't discover that. Let's break up. Let's divorce. You understand? If that has been discovered from the beginning, that would not have happened, right? Ask questions like, what do you think about God? What do you think about God, right? If you're a Christian, are you born again? What is your salvation experience? It should be obvious that an Easter Christmas Christian is very different from a daily quiet time Christian. That's just the truth. Marrying simply because you are in love and ignoring the implications of these spiritual differences is a sign of immaturity. Please and please, I'm begging you, please discuss this with your partner. Discuss spirituality with your partner. And don't forget that spirituality is not to be equated with going to church. Chapter 12. I wish that I had known that personality profoundly influences behavior. For example, a morning person will never become a night person, and a night person will never become a morning person. So people's personality would influence their behavior. All right. So you must discuss this, and you must find ways to balance. You must have agreement points, right? Thank you for watching this video. Did you learn something new, just like I did? Did you get reminded about something you have never known before? If yes, drop it in the comment section now. Drop it in the comment section now. I'm reading your comments. Yeah. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends that are dating, share with your single friends. Let them learn before they get engaged. Thank you.